What does it really take to prove your new food ingredient is safe for the US market? If you're introducing a food ingredient that's not already approved, even one that's being safely used elsewhere, there's one decision that could shape your entire market strategy. You'll need to prove it's safe, and for that, the FDA allows you to go through something called GRAS, or Generally Recognized as Safe. But here's what most companies don't realize. There are two very different GRAS pathways to go about it. One is called a GRAS Notice, where the FDA reviews your safety data, and the other is Self-Affirmed GRAS, where you document everything internally without submitting to the FDA. So how do you know which one is right for your product? In this video, I'm going to walk you through what each pathway involves, how they differ, and how to choose the best option for your business and compliance goals. As I've mentioned, GRAS stands for Generally Recognized as Safe. That means qualified experts agree your substance is safe to use in food based on publicly available scientific data. It's often used for ingredients that don't really fall under formal FDA food additive approval, and it's a key step to getting to market legally and, of course, responsibly. Whether you go with a GRAS Notice or Self-Affirmed GRAS, the foundation is the same: strong science behind the ingredient's safety. Let's talk about the GRAS Notice first. This pathway involves submitting your GRAS determination to the FDA. You'll prepare a full safety dossier, and that includes toxicology data, exposure levels, clinical studies, and history of use, all reviewed by a panel of qualified experts, though that's optional. Then the FDA reviews your submission. If they agree with your conclusion, they'll issue a no questions letter. That means they don't object to your GRAS determination. Now, this isn't an FDA approval. It's the highest form of recognition under the GRAS framework. And curious enough, this option isn't just theoretical. Several companies have successfully gone through the GRAS Notice process. And because the submission is public, it adds an extra layer of trust in your process, which is something that many companies value when they're scaling or entering new partnerships. Now let's look at the Self-Affirmed GRAS pathway. You're still following the same scientific standards. You collect the safety data, you consult a qualified expert panel, that again is optional. You compile a comprehensive report. But this time, you don't send anything to the FDA. Everything is handled internally. But why would companies choose this? Because it's often faster, more cost-effective, and completely confidential. That's a big advantage if you're working with proprietary formulations, or if you're launching and want to move quickly without disclosing everything publicly. So how do you decide between the two? Well, the answer is simple. It depends on your business priorities. If you want transparency, external validation, or if you're working with large partners, then the GRAS Notice might be the better fit. Multinationals often ask for a GRAS Notice, for example. Now, if you need speed, confidentiality, or working on a tighter budget, then Self-Affirmed GRAS might make more sense. What's important to remember is this: both pathways require strong science, qualified panel, which is optional, and clear documentation. There's no shortcut, just different options based on how you want to approach the market. We get a lot of questions about GRAS, especially around the two pathways, so let me touch on a few of the most common ones. A big one is whether you can start with Self-Affirmed GRAS and later decide to go through the FDA GRAS Notice process. And the answer is yes, absolutely. That's actually a pretty common strategy. Companies often get to market faster with Self-Affirmed GRAS and then choose to submit to the FDA once they're more established, or maybe it's a buyer request. Another question that comes up is whether the FDA approves GRAS notices. Technically, no, they don't. What they do is review your submission, and if everything looks solid, they'll issue a no questions letter. It's not a formal approval, but it's the best response you can get and carries a lot of weight. We also get asked if expert panels are needed for both pathways. The answer is actually it's not mandatory. The FDA has, however, outlined certain best practices when choosing an expert panel. Confidentiality is another big one. When you go through the self-affirmed route, everything stays private unless you choose to share it. That's a big reason why some companies go that way. And finally, what if the FDA has questions or concerns about your GRAS notice? Well, usually they'll ask you for clarification or amending your dossier and request for additional data. It's not a rejection, it's more of a conversation, so you'll have a chance to respond and resubmit if needed. At the end of the day, I know that choosing between GRAS Notice and Self-Affirmed GRAS isn't always straightforward. Now, it depends on your ingredient, your timeline, and where your business is headed. That's where we can help. At Quality Smart Solutions, we support companies through both GRAS pathways, from scientific reviews to FDA submissions, as well as full project guidance, ADI, EDI, you name it, we do it. We've worked with startups and global brands, and we know what it takes to get your product ready for market the right way. So if you're launching a new food ingredient or additive in the US, feel free to reach out to us. You can book a free consultation or check out our website to learn more about our services. So whether you're just starting your GRAS journey or already weighing the next steps, I hope this gives you a clear direction. If this helps you understand the GRAS process, feel free to like this video and subscribe for more regulatory insights.